You have a kind master, eh, Matt?
One another.
God bless.
I almost.
Are you going to do what we talked about?
Stop myself. And she tell it to go to hell herself?
Oh, I reckon she likes having a young buck like him paying attention to her. But don't you worry.
You silly doggy.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
Greetings, Master Guard.
Gather round, good men, so you can avoid danger. Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all, the one called woman. They look like angels on the outside. Now in charge of the sword fight.
Gepriesen sei der Herr.
God be with you.
Sign me up for the tournament.
Toll! What discipline will it be?
Can't seem to make up my mind. You know what? Sign me up for everything.
Good choice. Pay the entry fee, and we are done here.
Here are the groschen, but I plan on winning them all back.
I look forward to seeing your attempt. May Lady Fortune be on your side. On the day of the tournament, go and see Friedrich Kummel. He has the honor of running the tournament and will introduce you. Or you can wait here for the tournament, as you wish.
When is the next tournament?
There is still some time to go, more than 5 days.
You wouldn't have any work for me, would you?
Yeah, I might know of something. Not long ago, ein Frau was here looking for a swordsman. But the whole thing is ein bisschen precarious.
Why? What's the deal?
She is a widow, poor thing. She was looking for a warrior für ein Duell. And that is something the city council does not like to see. Deshalb, I cannot do it myself. I do not want to lose the Fechthalle. Aber you could help her. Go to her, tell her I sent you. And mein Gott, do nothing to bring shame on our guild. I have faith in you.
Fine. I'll go and see her and find out more.
She lives in the house in the middle of Haradek quarter. Careful.
You can avoid danger. Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all.
Good
The
doggy.
one called
Good for taking lessons at the Fechthalle.
They look like
And
they
I've learned
will
quite
look
a bit already.
That's good. The town needs strong, brave men who can take
Well, that's nice now.
Greetings. Do you need something?
Menhard sent me. I heard you need somebody who knows how to fight.
Praise the Lord. I feared I wouldn't find anyone, and that would have been bad. That I'd end up all alone, just like with everything else.
First, tell me exactly what this is about. Menhard said it was fairly unusual.
My husband, may God rest his soul, left me saddled with some unpleasant business. He liked to spend evenings in the tavern and bet with the other regulars. And he promised one of them a fair sum of money after losing a bet. But that waster of mine recently passed away, and the other fella, Radmill, the cobbler's apprentice, has been hounding me like there's no tomorrow. He swears that he won fair and square and that I have to pay him the money, although I've hardly any myself. But he has no written record of it. We even went to the city council, but they just slammed the door on us. Since my husband's will says disputes are to be resolved by duel and Radmill won't relinquish his claim, it's up to God himself to judge. As a widow, I have the holy right for a fighter to stand for me.
Tell me more about my opponent. What kind of man is he? Perhaps we could reason with him.
What do you want to know about him? He's a whoremonger, lucky enough to run into that gullible husband of mine. There's no talking to him, which makes me wonder why Cobbler Yolin keeps a leech like that in his employ.
I'll fight for you.
Thank you. I was hoping you wouldn't leave a poor old widow in a lurch. Go make arrangements for the duel with that fool, the cobbler's man, in the town hall. God be with you, sir.
Are you the devil himself? Pay and you shall go to heaven. The prelates spout empty words. Their bellies may be full, but their heads are empty. Fat arse, and endless faces
I tried to make peace with her, but she slammed the door in my face. I'm not going to humiliate myself with you.
Greetings.
Servus.
Oh, you two.
So, you've been here longer than some of my goods.
Horse radish here. Delicious horse radish. Come and get some wonderful horse radish.
Guten Tag, mein Herr.
I come on behalf of Widow Gerda. I will stand for her in battle. What terms shall we agree to?
So she went and found a swordsman anyway. I had hoped that it wouldn't come to this. I won that money fair and square.
But you don't have a witness? Or any document?
No, I don't. Just my word. And I will gladly even swear on the cross. But once I pay the guild dues, they'll make me a master and I'll finally open my own workshop. I swear before God, I'm in the right. And if there's no other way to defend my good fortune than with a weapon in my hand, so be it. Unless you would show mercy and let me win.
If it's really just about money, I can lend you some.
You're kind, but now I can't back out. It would look like admitting I was making it up the entire time.
I don't intend to break my word. And I certainly don't want to ruin my reputation by throwing a duel.
As you wish. Right is on my side, and God will certainly guide my hand. We just have to agree on the weapon you want to use.
I choose sword. Which weapon is best for you?
I'm a cobbler, not a swordsman. I'll have to borrow a weapon and armor from somebody. Go back to Gerda and tell her we're agreed and that we'll meet there. Southwest of the city is a large solitary tree on a hill. Gerda will know where, so come together. Don't fuck it up now.
Fine, come over. Fruit, vegetables, mushrooms.
Some kind of
Come
ornament?
and get some fresh.
I always fancied those chairs with hearts cut out of them.
Can that be right? Salvation cannot be for sale. But what do they say? Hey, and you shall be forgiven. Have you stolen? Hey!
God bless you, sir.
I'm sorry.
Rock is a whole different world compared to this old place.
Did you bring anything back with you?
Empty pockets and a whole lot of gum.
God be with you.
I went to see Radmill, and we agreed on terms.
And what weapon did you choose?
It'll be swords. Radmill went to find some armor, and then we'll meet at the big tree southwest of town. He said you'd know.
I know. I know. And are you ready?
We can leave right away.
Then let's go, so I can finally have some peace.
Today, the dispute between Gerda and Radmill will be decided once and for all. If necessary, I will gladly testify as to the recipient of God's favor in this duel today. Radmill will fight for himself, and Henry will take up arms for the widow Gerda. They have both agreed upon the weapons to be used in the duel. No other weapon is allowed. No fighter may move too far from the center of the ring. Whoever runs away loses. The duel will end as soon as someone surrenders or there is no more fighting. No killing. Did you understand the rules?
Yes.
Yes.
Let the duel begin.
Come on, let's see what you've got.
Get him, Henry!
Mercy! Leave me be!
I knew that the truth was on my side. Finally, the truth is revealed.
Oh, you certainly know how to fight.
So it's decided?
Unfortunately for me. Let's go to the others.
Radmill, Henry, you both fought valiantly, but God has decided the truth lies with Goodwife Gerda. The dispute has thus been justly settled in her favor.
Yes, that's right. Did you hear that? Don't you even think of trying to get money out of me now. I've got a witness that you lost.
Don't worry. I honor your victory. You won't hear from me again.
And you, Henry, here's your well-earned reward.
I'm glad to have helped settle this.
This duel was guided by the hand of God. If necessary, I will testify to everything.
No women? What's done is done. That's the end of it. Fuck'll work. No money. What will become of me?
What? Hey, you!
Yes?
How about stretching those limbs and getting some light exercise? Shall we spar? Whoa! If it isn't Henry!
How are you, Hornet?
I'm fine. Just a little sore in the thigh.
Oh. Someone beat you up?
As if. I landed a job with a farmer down in the village here. Hired me to hold the sheep so they can be shorn. Easy money. Only thing is, as we were driving the sheep towards the barn, I took my eye off the ram for a moment. Wham! The bastard charged straight at my leg as soon as I turned my back on him. Dumb animal. What about you? How have you been?
I've been flitting here and there.
Fine. Keep it to yourself then. Want to fight?
Last time we talked, you were headed to a tournament with your new gear. How did that go?
It all went to shit.
You didn't win then?
I didn't even make it there. I got into town to put my name down. But before that, I popped into a tavern for a bite to eat and see if the innkeeper knew of any work in the area. Yes, he says. He sent me to this little arsehole. The job sounded good. He said somebody owed him, didn't want to pay him back, blah, blah, blah. All I had to do was lean on him a bit, scare the shit out of him, and make him repay the debt. The reward was more than decent, so I took it.
There was a catch, wasn't there?
Of course there was. The debtor was this well-dressed fellow. He should have hit me right then, but it didn't. So I lie in wait for him. He comes along, I square up to him, and he starts shrieking.
Oh, that was only to be expected.
He's only a city councillor.
Oh, Christ.
I took off, but the guards caught me anyway. Public apology, compensation for personal injury, confiscation of armor and weapons. I was left with nothing but the shirt on my back. And that little whoreson that hired me vanished. That lousy fucking little piece of shit. So that's how my fame and fortune at the tournament turned out.
That really went downhill rapidly then.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Exactly. Now you're talking. What are we fighting for?
I have a proposition. If you win, you take the money. If I win, you teach me some of your skills.
I once ran into a fellow named ITA. The bastard knew how to swing a cudgel better than anybody. He taught me some moves. Beat me, and I'll teach them to you, too.
That's my wager.
Ha! I can't wait to win. I'm just getting warmed up, you shit! You wanna try me? Oh, shit! What? Bad luck!
That was a good fight.
Good. Very good. Perhaps I'll have better luck next time. So, Yira and his technique. Well, that was pretty straightforward. Run in and yell a lot. And twirl a cudgel above your head.
And this is what I bet all that money for.
All right. There was one more trick Yira had. He'd always lunge like he was going to hit you from the right, but then he'd stop mid-swing and catch you with his left. A right old punch. That threw everybody, including me. Anyway, and having got the upper hand, he'd cosh you hard with that cudgel in his right hand. It's all about diverting attention.
Right. Thanks for telling me.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. What do you want? What can I give you for it?
Sure, I tell you, and you dob me in.
Crazy? Why would I dob you in?
Look, it's gossip over. Gossip back won't do anyone any good.
You think I'll blurt it out to the first person I meet?
No, I just want to be sure no one finds out.
Look first, and maybe next time I'll even fight.
Burgundy and Tuscany. The best wine comes from Czech soil.
Good afternoon, sir.
What are you doing here, Goodman?
What does it look like? I'm handing out wine from my vineyard.
You're giving it away for free?
My vineyard is new, and the folks in this town are damn stubborn. So I figured I'd pour a cask or two into them, and maybe they'd get a taste for it. What about your good self? Would you like to try it?
Free wine? I'd be a fool to say no to that.
My thoughts exactly, Goodman. Here you are, to your health. I'm curious what you'll think of it.
Are you sure that's wine you poured me? This tastes like... Well, how should I say it?
Forgive me, Goodman, but say no more. In vino veritas, and the truth in my wine is that I'm a fool, an idiot whose wife is cuckolding him, whose children can't stand him, and even the dog pisses in his boots every morning. And my wine tastes like dog piss as well. I never should have bought that damned vineyard. If it wasn't for those fucking monks selling their wine everywhere they can, I might have a chance. Not like this.
Is there anything I could do to help you?
With the dog pissing in my boots? Well, I'm not sure. I tried sticking his snout in it, putting pepper in my boots, and nothing worked. Piss in my boots again the next morning.
I meant your business troubles.
Oh, I see. Maybe you could. If you're not from around here, that is.
No, I'm not.
Allow me to introduce myself. Caspar Rudolph, vineyard owner and a not very successful wine seller.
I'm Henry.
Maybe you could help me, Henry. I'm looking for someone who's not well known in Kuttenberg. Someone who can pretend to be someone else, if you know what I mean.
Sure, why not? If all you need is someone folk won't recognize.
The monks in Setlet's monastery make excellent wine. They call it the monastery secret. People can't get enough of it, and I can't figure out what their secret is. But I intend to find out.
Right, I understand what you want from me. But if it's a secret, it won't be easy.
No, it won't. But don't worry, I have a plan. The custodian of the monastery vineyard has a relative in town, an innkeeper called Havel. And this Havel is a real know-it-all when it comes to wine. He really likes to boast about it. If you were to pose as a sommelier who's just come back from abroad, I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to you, and maybe he'll reveal something.
You want me to be smellier? I don't see how that could make a good impression on him.
Not smellier, sommelier. It's a wine expert. Just act intelligent and use some foreign words. It'll be easy. I have some books about wine at home. Maybe you could read through them. You do know how to read, right? Havel's a bit thick anyway, so it won't be hard to impress him.
The book might come in handy. Can I borrow it?
When I said I have it, that wasn't, entirely accurate.
What's the truth, then?
The book belongs to me, but I lent it to someone, and she hasn't given it back yet. Miss Adleta Manlica should have it. I lent it to her during our... let's call it our friendship, which has come to an end.
Didn't you say you're married?
What has that to do with anything?
Oh, I'm sure your wife wouldn't mind if you asked an old girlfriend to return a book you lent her.
Oh dear. Adleta used to have rather more friends than might be expected of a respectable young woman. But her family's patience ran out, so they
arranged her marriage and put an end to her dalliances. Since then, Adleta has been confined to her room and guarded like the crown jewels.
And you want me to break in?
Well, yes. Master Swordsmith Mannlicher has a house in Lethlilskar Street. Adleta is either locked in her room or walks in the gardens behind the Italian court, where she is guarded by her brother. The Mannlichers don't want any more problems.
It doesn't matter. I'll find a way to get the book back.
Great! Any more questions?
Do you have any idea what this secret might be?
They're monks, so it could be anything. Maybe they put the crushed up bones of saints in it, or they sing hymns to the wine. How should I know?
Do you really think Havel would just tell me the secret? You don't even know if he actually knows it. Or it might just be a rumor.
Havel really is a bit thick. Either the monks have a secret and Havel will tell you, or there's no secret and Havel will confirm it.
I'll get right on it then.
Excellent. And don't forget, making an impression is the main thing. You look like you can handle it. Good luck. God be with you, good sir. An elegant and clean... flavor, light aroma of exotic...
May God give you health, sir.
At your service, sir.
I'm
sorry. I'm thinking of buying a rowboat, or maybe a punt.
What do you want a boat for?
You have a coin, master. Eh, Matt?
You have no bit... Gepriesen sei der Herr. What do you need?
I'd like to go into the gardens. Why are you on guard here?
I'm afraid my sister is resting in the gardens and doesn't wish to be disturbed.
Do these gardens belong to you, so you can decide who goes in?
Like I said, my sister doesn't want to be disturbed, and my father, Master Mannlicher, doesn't want it either.
That's a very fine sword you have, Goodman.
And so it should be. It was made by my father, a master swordsmith.
Well, you can tell it's perfectly balanced at first glance. I may not be able to see the blade, but the way the hilt is fitted is clearly the work of a master craftsman.
It seems you know your stuff, good man.
I'm an apprentice swordsmith.
For someone from Kuttenberg? I'm surprised I haven't seen you before.
No, my master is Martin Menschy from Prague. We're just traveling north. My master wants to deliver a piece in person.
You don't say! Master Menschy is in Kuttenberg? Do you think I could talk to him? I admire his work, and so does my father.
Of course. Come to the Hangman's Halter Tavern. My master will be pleased to have company.
Thanks! If you want to enter the gardens, go ahead. Just keep away from my sister. My father has forbidden her to speak to men.
Don't worry. I'll give you my word as a swordsmith.
Mein Freund.
Are you Miss Adletta?
That's me. And what is your name, you handsome fellow?
Henry.
A nice name. But I have to warn you, I won't be a miss for much longer. Seeing you here makes me regret that a little, though.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm here on behalf of Caspar Rudolph. It's about the book he lent you.
Caspar? Oh, the poor thing got a proper hiding from my father. How is he?
His vineyards aren't bringing in much, and he's generally not doing too well. That's why I'm here, in fact. Bushek's book may not be the most precious manuscript in the world, but it'll help Caspar.
When we were friends, he gifted me that book. There was no mention of it being on loan, and now he wants it back all of a sudden?
What if we became friends, and you gave me the book?
You're taking a big risk, good man. My father could have your tongue cut out for that kind of talk. He's not too keen on my friends.
That doesn't bother me.
But it's not that easy to become a friend of mine. First, you need to impress me somehow.
How about a splendid gift?
I have a room full of splendid gifts. How about something more poetic? A flower, perhaps? You see that garland? It doesn't go with my dress. It needs a little something extra.
I can manage that.
Hurry up then. Off you go, gardener.
I'm sorry.
I brought you something to add to your garland.
Well, show me, gardener. Oh, they're lovely. You have an eye for flowers. What would you like as your reward?
How about a kiss?
Here, now? In broad daylight?
Why not? We're alone here.
That's what you think. I don't want to make my family angry, and it would be a pity if you came to harm as well.
So you don't want...
If the circumstances were different, who knows? But your charming courtship has made me happy.
Well, I'd like to take Casper's book now.
Of course. That's what you came for, isn't it?
I have the book, so I'll be off.
Farewell, Henry. Never forget me.
Greetings to you, friend.
At your service, sir.
Welcome here, noble sir.
It's always ordinary folk that get the short end of the stick. While the noble...
What? May I intrude? I need some help.
What is it you need?
I'm just looking for something. This is my first time in the city, and I don't know my way around. Do you?
Yes, I know my way around a bit.
I'm sure you can help me then. I'm looking for a tavern. The Emperor Charles? But I don't even know what quarter it's in. I only know the merchant quarter.
That's the Italian quarter.
Italian quarter? That must be where the Italian court is then, is it?
Yes.
Thanks. I heard the food at that place is fantastic. Folks say their roasts fit for a king.
Really?
Well, so I've heard. I'm only in town for a quick visit, to sell my wares and then on my way again tomorrow. But I don't have a place to stay yet. You don't happen to know anywhere in town, do you?
What are you selling?
Fabrics. I have a workshop just outside Yichin. But I do a bit of work on the side here and there. We might cross paths again, you never know. Thanks for the advice. Take care.
Same to you. I hope you find that tavern. Oh, damn it! He robbed me! You robbed me!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ah, don't fuck with me. I know it was you. Is it really worth it? Stealing?
I used to run a tavern in Mezoles. When they razed the village, I lost all I had.
And so poorly that I noticed right away. How about trying your hand at something more honest?
It's a struggle, you know? It's a struggle, you know?
What's so hard about it? You want to be a pickpurse for the rest of your life?
No, of course not. I'd like to open a tavern, serve beer, and host guests from all over. But like the fool I am, I've run up debts I can't settle. So that tavern's out of my reach.
And what about family? Is there no one who can help you?
No, there isn't. They're all with God now.
Give it back!
The finest wares. Plates, big and small, round and thin. Come and buy some new plates. Come and take a look. Quality goods. The finest
You're always
wares. Quality goods.
Pavel, the owner of the local inn, I assume?
That I am. How can I help you?
When I asked where I should go in this city for good wine, your inn was recommended.
You've come to the right place. You won't find better wine in this city. Have you come from far away?
Very far, Goodman. I'm Henry, and I rarely hear my name spoken in my native tongue.
Mine has an unusual ingredient in it. Let's see if you can tell what it is.
I travelled around France.
Wonderful. It's not often I get the chance to talk to someone so well-traveled. It'd be nice to have someone to discuss the drink of kings with.
An invitation I can't refuse. Thank you.
Well, good man. How shall we begin our tasting? Ah, I know. How about a little white to begin with?
Excellent.
So, what do you say to that?
Hints of vanilla. That's uncommon. And I have to say, that greenish spring colour is perfect.
You're right. A rare flavor and color tone. It's essentially a lighter wine. I like it because it's suitable for many occasions. When I don't know what to serve, I pull out a Moravian white. My father-in-law loves it. He'll be a blessed 70 years old this year, so I'm giving him a few casks to make his old age a little merrier.
That's very kind of you.
There's nothing but misers in this town. They wouldn't think twice about taking their own mother's last piece of bread. I'm not like that. Do I have money? Of course. But I don't hoard it. I try to make people around me happy.
And you're treating me to this wine. You're a real Samaritan. And like it says in the Bible, you give drink to the thirsty.
Anyway, let's have a cup of something else.
My thoughts exactly.
What shall we... Ah, I know. Let's have some red. How about a young Blaufränkisch from Austria? Or as we call it in Bohemia, Blue Frankovka.
From you, Goodman, anything. Pour away.
Quite a decent vintage.
A bit bitter for my tastes. But you said it's a young Blaufränkisch. I'm getting notes of black currant. The colour is dark, almost purple, but as it should be.
Yes, the colour enchants me every time. Almost like drinking from an inkwell.
Oh, never drunk ink? Would you recommend it?
My grandfather used to say, you won't know till you've tried it. He lived and died by that saying.
Uh-huh. What happened to him?
Well, the poor fella suffered from ulcers. So one day, true to his favorite saying, he tried drinking spirits to cure himself. Burn the canker, he said. Well, he burnt it so thoroughly, he was dead in a week. God rest his soul.
To your grandfather, and his contribution to advancing the knowledge of medicine.
If you've traveled so widely, tell me, in France, what wine do they appreciate the most? And I don't mean what wealthy nobility think, but what true connoisseurs like you and me appreciate.
I'd say Sauvignon.
But that's the type of grape. I mean the type of wine. I surely don't have to tell you the grape variety is only half the taste.
Well, it's hard to come up with something off the top of my head, but I do enjoy this variety.
Ah, well, never mind. Let's carry on. Well then, let's move on to the next one. After all that quality stuff, let's refresh ourselves with something simpler. Would you like a Hippocras?
Certainly. The better ones will go straight to our heads. And I'll admit, I do like it from time to time.
Nothing to be ashamed of. It's not easy to make a good Hippocras. Mine has an unusual ingredient in it. Let's see if you can tell what it is.
Very nice. I'd say it's mint?
Precisely. It gives a nice freshness, wouldn't you say? And there's a garden full of it right behind the tavern. I don't know where to put it all.
But it's missing some kick. I reckon your cook forgot to add something. Ginger. It's missing ginger.
But of course. The cook told me they didn't have any at the market. You have a refined tongue, good man. I'll give you that. After that Hippocras, we should have something more high class. I've got a rare Hungarian wine from Eger. Very strong and very sweet.
Bring it on. This is no time for weak wine.
My thoughts exactly. So what do you think? Good, isn't it?
Very good and very red. Besides that, it has a sort of raised taste at the end of the tongue.
Raised taste? What do you mean?
It's hard to explain, but it really is very red.
As anyone can see at first glance. What will you tell me next? that the sky is blue?
And isn't it?
I drank this particular wine from Egger at a banquet held to celebrate the new city council. Hungarian government, Hungarian wine, and Hungarian delicacies. I was so looking forward to enjoying some nice Hungarian sausages or pate. But I ended up leaving disappointed.
How so?
They started bringing out melons, apples, plums, and all sorts of other fruit. And finally, they served fish. I don't eat fish, and fruit makes me burp. So I went hungry at a feast.
I'm sorry you're disappointed, but I think they chose the food well.
Really?
I have to refer to Galen and his wisdom. Fish and fruit are foods with a cold essence. For that reason, they should all be balanced out with a warm wine, which this exquisite Hungarian surely is, because it's sweet and strong.
Very well. The fish, I can understand. It lives in the water. But fruit ripens in the sun. Why is it considered cold?
Well, it's not so much about the sun. According to Galen, fruit is cold by nature, because blood has never flowed through it.
Oh, thanks for the explanation. I've heard these rules before, but nobody explained them as well as you just did. Oh, forget Galen. I'd still rather have a nice duck patty with my red.
But of course. The main thing is what suits your palate, Goodman.
Well, that's Hungary checked off the list. What's next?
How about something local? I noticed there were vineyards in Kuttenberg.
But of course, we have vineyards and grapes from Burgundy that Emperor Charles himself had brought in. The local vintners grow some fine grapes, but they're still learning everything that comes after that. The local stuff gets diluted a lot. They flavor it with all sorts of shit, or leave it for vinegar.
Don't tell me you don't have a drop of anything local that would be worth trying.
Well, there's the monastery secret. A wine from the Sedlets Monastery. My cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard.
Ah. Why is it called secret?
Taste it, and you'll see.
Interesting. There's no trace of any flavor that shouldn't be there. Neither honey nor spices. Just the pure taste of wine. But there is something to it. Something I don't recognize.
That's it, good man.
Is that the secret?
Exactly. The monks add a secret ingredient to the wine.
A secret ingredient? How do you know that?
Like I said, my cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard, and I handle their supply. Sometimes I bring food for the workers, new barrels, tools and the like. And from time to time, I bring them a sealed crate which smells peculiar. Jerome didn't want to tell me what's in it, but when I insisted, he told me it's some kind of incense they burn in the barrels.
Really? I've never heard of such a thing.
Neither have I. But like I said, the chest was sealed and the whole thing is shrouded in secrecy.
A real monastery secret? What should we drink next?
I'm glad you like my wine. But that's enough tasting for today. After all, I've offered you everything worth trying, and now the wine is starting to go to my head. But you're welcome to stay in my tavern as long as you like. I have to say, I really enjoyed our chat. It's rare to meet someone who really understands wine.
I enjoyed your company a lot too. Nevertheless, I won't keep you, Goodman, and I'll bid you farewell.
Farewell, and if you decide to extend your stay in Kuttenberg, stop by for a drink again.
Definitely. God be with you.
Oh, my back.
My respects.
City tournament. What an occasion, eh? Will he go?
I reckon I'll have
God bless you, sir.
I spoke to Havel.
And? How did it go?
Good. I had to drink a bit of wine to get some answers out of him, but I sacrificed myself for the cause.
And what did he say?
It took a while, but in the end, he told me sometimes crates of a special incense are brought to the vineyard, and they apparently burn it in the barrels.
What? Incense? And he wasn't just yanking your pizzle or too drunk?
He may have been drunk, but he was telling the truth. He doesn't know what incense it is, just that they get it delivered.
Right, and here's a small reward so you don't go around saying old Casper's ungrateful. But now I need you to look into it further. We need to find out what this special incense is for. We'll have to take a look in the vineyard and take some of that incense.
We, meaning me, right?
Of course I mean you. See how well we understand each other?
I'll do it, but I want more coin. It's a risky thing to do. What's more, it's the monastery's vineyard, and I don't want to end up on the wrong side of the church.
All right, I'll give you more, but I want you to know you're bleeding me dry as is.
I'm the one likely to actually bleed. Now tell me where to look. The vineyard is pretty big.
It's big, true. But there's a vineyard house right in the middle. The custodian lives there, as well as the workers. And it's also where all the supplies are stored. Besides, there's also a side garden where they grow new varieties of grapes. If you could manage to bring me a few seedlings, they could greatly help my own vineyard.
What if they catch me?
You have to be careful. The vineyard is closely guarded, especially at night, and thieves are punished very severely. Don't get caught.
Where exactly is the vineyard?
A short way to the north of town. It's pretty large, you can't miss it.
How do I get in? Isn't it guarded?
The simplest thing would be to get hired as a laborer. There'll be lots of work there now that it's summer.
I'm on it then.
Good luck, and take care, Henry. By the way, what about the business with the Manlichers? Did you manage to get hold of the book by Bouchek?
Yes, Miss Adletter is sweet. And she even gave me back your book. Here it is.
Ah, thanks very much. I'll try to sell it and pay off at least some of my debts.
Farewell.
Brothers in Christ, forget the spoil.
This monastery was founded, the city has come under the Marin parish. Relations between the parishioners and the monastery have been tense at times, but beneficial for all. Our city's fame has attracted many scholars.
Did you hear that dirty stallion? This gate isn't the village green. It's not my fault it's here. I'd go a different way if I could.
You there? Oh, Christ! Woo! Come here. Watch out with that horse.
You can find a different way. Fine. See?
Are you hiring?
Us? Always. But don't be fooled. It's hard work. Days spent bent over in the sun. It's not for everybody. But you'll get a few groschen, something to eat, and a place to lay your head.
That sounds good.
I'll tell you tomorrow. For now, go and speak to the custodian, Jerome. He'll tell you what to do. Any questions?
What's the master custodian like?
Jerome? He's my cousin, and he gave me this job. Can't complain about him.
And the others?
I don't know, but I've never heard any complaints. You'll see for yourself soon enough.
I'll be going then.
All right, run along. Jerome will be waiting near the winery. And remember, wine is liquid gold, so we keep everything well guarded.
Don't worry. I don't steal.
I have to say that because we do get light-fingered individuals here from time to time. And now you know everything, off you go to work. Take care for now.
I'm supposed to report to you. I'm new here.
Excellent. Another young shoot ready to sprout and produce the delicious fruits of labor.
Right. The shoot. That's me.
Forgive me, young man. I'm always pleased by the presence of someone who enjoys working.
That's great. In any case, I was sent to ask what you want me to do.
You'll start today. Because why wait? There are a few hours left before the velvet blanket of night covers our vineyard.
Of course. I'll get to work then.
Excellent. What enthusiasm. What vigor. As our youngest laborer, you will be in charge of the eternal battle against the weeds that choke our beautiful plants. As soon as you spot one, imagine you're King David and uproot that evil from our land forever, just as he uprooted the Philistines from Israel.
If you hand me a slingshot, I can take on Goliath.
We hand out slingshots in autumn when we have trouble with starlings. Apart from that, you'll sometimes see a sack at the end of a row. In it are clippings and bad plants which you will take to the dung heap behind the winery here, where their earthly existence ends in the process known as decay.
All right. That doesn't sound too complicated. Weeding and organizing a funeral for some plants.
To tell the truth, lad, work in the vineyard isn't complicated, but it is hard. I therefore suggest you don the vintner's crown, a straw hat. Do you have any other questions?
Forgive me, but why do you talk so strangely?
Truth be told, you're not the first to ask such a question. But the answer is simple. Our time on this earth is too short and precious to leave behind something ordinary. And I'm quite adept at speaking, unlike other human activities. So why not at least leave behind a pleasing impression?
I wonder what I'll leave behind.
I don't know, lad, and neither do you. But eventually the loom will run out of thread, and it's up to us what we leave behind. Whether it's a plain cloth or an ornate tapestry.
What's in this building here?
This is the winery, lad. It's the heart of the vineyard. Of course, the grapes must ripen in the vineyard and are harvested there. But here in the winery they are sorted, pressed, and poured into barrels. As soon as we put the wine in barrels, it travels to the cool and dark monastery cellars, where it ages.
Where can I lay my head?
I shall take you there right away. I have to show you where to take the sacks in any case.
I'll get to it then.
May God bless your work. On you go, lad. Here it is, the final resting place of weeds from our vineyard, and a vast haven for flies, the dung heap. This is where you shall bring the sacks, and moreover, after a hard day's toil, you can lay your head down in that hut over there. Questions?
Now I know everything, I can get started.
Wonderful, lad. Now, get to work. The vineyard is large and there's plenty of work.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. Still doing this.
silly doggy.
Good to see you.
Never mind then. Greetings to you.
Ah, excellent. Our youngest laborer returns after a day surely filled with hard work.
I did the best I could.
Lad, just because I speak kindly doesn't make me a fool. On the contrary, I didn't see you making much of an effort today.
But I was working.
That's not what work looks like. You've disappointed me. You're not a young shoot, but a stubborn weed that's blighting my vineyard. Begone.
What about your cows, neighbour? Did you manage to get them all back?
All but the heifer that got torn apart by wolves.
Oh, what a shame. But I warned you there was no point hiding your cows from the army in the forest.
Better for a wolf to take a few of them than for the soldiers to take all of them.
Well,
crate smells like sulfur. This could be it.
What's that sound? I heard it coming from here.
Nothing, I suppose.
I wouldn't leave it to the last moment this year.
Good doggy.
Nice and slow.
I renew. Fine tempered now.
Herbal brew? I didn't send you any herbal brew.
Yes, you did. We talked about it at the market the other day.
We talked about the rats in your pantry, didn't we?
Aye, that too.
You both listened.
You have a kind master, eh, Matt? Not too bad. But I've got so much to do. I'd have to split myself in two to get it all done on time.
Why don't you take my vineyard?
The taste that will caress. Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm back, and I've got the mysterious monastery incense. It looks like wood chips soaked in sulfur. It stinks a bit.
They were smoking barrels with this. Sulfur is the stink of hell, and this is a monastery vineyard.
Maybe there's another reason. The miners in Scallis used to say where there's sulfur, it's easier to breathe. Healthier air.
But it stinks to high hell.
So do many noble delicacies, and they're still delicious.
I suppose you're right. I'll give it a try. I hope it doesn't make my wine weak. Here's your reward. I added a bit more, as we agreed.
I almost forgot. I have the seedlings.
Ah! I'm curious what they'll grow into. You've made me doubly happy, Henry. So, here's a little something on top for you. Take care, friend. The best wine in Kuttenberg! The taste of home on your esteemed tongue! Try some wine from the Kuttenberg vineyard.
Nice.